Okay, so today's the day for the birdhouse. Watch along and see what I did with this charity bought birdhouse using the Carnival stamp, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Do you remember the birdhouse that was donations for charity for the charity shop we were at? Well, today I am going to do this. Now, first of all, before I do anything, I am going to give this bad boy 2 coats of Annie Sloane's Old Ochre, which is this colour down the spill down the side. We'll give it away. So it's a creamy colour. 2 coats, back soon. Okay, so my wee birdhouse, or my little birdhouse, has been painted with Old Ochre. I'm going to be using, today's stamp I'm going to be using is Carnival. So this is the first sheet of Carnival. And it says Carnival, and it's got the elephant on it and a star up the top. And this is the second sheet, which, just get that the right way. Not got my glasses on, so I can't tell. And it's a balloon and clouds and streamers, you know, like one of the dog balloons. It's got stars, bunting, backdrops, more bunting, and this has all been designed by Jamie. There's been no AI in the designing of this. Right, so first of all, I'm going to get my elephant, and I am going to whip off the Carnival part at the bottom. And I am going to be trimming off this star. Now, this elephant isn't going to all fit on. I'm not going to get his head flourish, but I'm going to get most of it on, so I'm okay with that. Right, okay, so put that back. I'm on a hard surface, even though there's a blankie on the table, keeping my camper table clean. I haven't found with me by Marley stamps that you have to sand them first to use them. I haven't found that, but I think they're pretty much good to go. I've tried it both ways, and I know some other stamps you have to charge them first and give them a bit of tooth. But no, I'm going to stand up for the key change here because I want to get them. I'm going to have the most interesting birdhouse in my new town. I'm an Marty.
You are.
Now, use your plastic. Plastic is your friend. It certainly helps get round all of the edges so that you don't miss any parts. And I am going over and making sure that I have touched every surface area. Now, I'm going to be stamping this same elephant on the other side. And I'm going to be painting one, and then I'm going to come back and show you what I've done with one and then do the other one. So that is our elephant on this side. Now, what I want to do up here, I've already done some lines, and I am going to get another one of the stamps, which is, there you go, move the back in. I want the big bunting, but I'm going to put the bunting upside down because that's how I'm rolling. I want the little bunting as well for the sides and things. So so let's just ink this up. This is really beautiful. This would be nice on a really spring piece, or a sort of kind of bohemian sort of, you know, like sort of almost Roma art, because it's got the lovely flower on it. But you're going to be seeing that. I'm not going to do it that way. See, Marty, stop myself.
Starting in the middle.
Eh?
Starting in the middle.
No, I was going to start at the wrong side. I don't mind there being a join up here on my birdhouse, but I only want the exterior of this because I'm painting it in, so I'm not too worried about how it looks right now. But if you do want to make it pristine before you even stamp, what you can do is, if you take the clear plastic that it comes with, yeah, and you stamp your stamp, yeah, following me, Matty? Yeah. And then stamp it onto here, yeah, okay, and cut it out like that. If you don't want to stamp it all first, you can just make yourself a little template, then just give your template a wee wipe so it doesn't make your hands and your piece all dirty, yeah? And then you can just use this as the template and paint it in and then stamp into it. It's another way of doing it. It's, if you don't want to have all the dark colour underneath, you can just draw around it and colour it in and then stamp into it. So I'm going to do this on both sides, and on the front, that was a little top tip there. I want the balloons. What Jamie and I had so much fun designing this, because I said I wanted something sort of magical that really said circus with balloons, and she came back with this and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. It's got that real vintage sort of look about it. These are not like any other furniture stands. They're just not designed out of our heads. Now, I'm not going to get all of my balloons on at the edge, but I'm going to get most of them on. I want position like this because I want to put some of the bunting round here. I'm not going to paint stamp this one. I'm just going to stamp it in ink, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick out pieces and parts that I can. Terry's on the table. It's all been too much for him. Terry had me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So he was in the black books. What is it? What books is he in? Bad books, yeah. So I'm going to get on and stamp this because this is just a 10-minute quick tutorial. And I'm going to paint quite a lot of it in, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I've done. But I want to show you, obviously, when I get back into my proper studio in the new house, I am going to have a field day on large pieces of furniture. In fact, I might do something for my own house with this. But right now, given the space in the camper, you're just having to have a fancy birdhouse. All right, I think I have touched every surface of this. Make sure I've got this, because I don't want to have to do this one again. And this is the circus-y stamp. Right, so I'm going to get on, use my Carnival stamp, paint some of it in, leave some of it, I'll come back and stamp some of it, and I'll show you. It's more just showing you the stamp, and obviously the top tip with is a good way if you want to do stamp it, paint it, stamp it, and you don't want to stamp it first. Back shortly. Okay, let me just talk you through what I've done. So you saw me put the balloon and the moon stamp on here with the streamers. I didn't restamp that. I left that as it was and just painted pieces and parts. I put the little bunting up here, and I just did some patterns just to make it a little bit more fancy. Anybody can do some patterns. And I used the smallest of the stamps, the star stamps. There's 3 of them, but I used this one here, 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 and here, and I painted it in yellow. Again, I did some patterns. Now, this is where it gets exciting, and you're going to see me do this in a minute. But this is the elephant. I painted it all in, and I just stamped it. Just used basic colours. I knew where they were going to go, and then stamped over the top. Did my same bunting, which is the little set of bunting. This one here that I put up the side, and this is the one I just painted in yellow and stamped, and this is one I double stamped. So it shows you the difference because it does shine through. So I did that there. Now, let me just talk you through this stamp, which I've already noticed. I think this stamped as a triangle and this underneath it, I think you could get a really good harlequin look with this stamp. But also what I was thinking was you could use this and the other stamps in a sort of Moroccan look with I think these would really lend themselves to the Moroccan look. I think this big one and our other one, Fate and Fortune, would go really well. And I think this one would be really nice just on its own in a piece of furniture, and you could paint the background and paint the squares and then stamp over the top of it, and you'd have a really good stamp with this. I've just been looking at it and going, well, there's so many different things you could do with it, and it doesn't have to be, because there's an elephant here as well. I mean, you don't need to use the elephant because there's enough here to do. Like, I would imagine that could do one piece of furniture. I think this and the Fate and Fortune. I think this and Fate and Fortune as well would work really well, and this and Fate and Fortune. And if you think about the current stamps we've got, these would all work together. All my stamps will have a theme. That's why Made by Marley is different. It's not run-of-the-mill things that you're getting. It's been hand designed and made so that it is unique. It is different. We're not like that stamp company or that company because we're going our own way, and that's a good thing because you can pull from that company and our company and just, you know, create something that you think, you know, that, because we create with everything. So I just can see the writing on the wall when I actually hit the ground running and I've got space and I've got big pieces of furniture in front of me. I cannot wait to get stuck into these and see what I can do. But anyway, I just thought I'd kind of pass that on. You're missing quite a bit of this because it's just 10 minutes sort of kind of quick videos, but you know how to paint it. Stamp it, paint it, stamp it. You just stamp it, you paint it, and you stamp over the top of it. Or you can just stamp it and just paint little bits in it. Either or, I mean, it's entirely up to you. So this is the roof here, and this is our elephant on this, and we're going to go away and do it now on the other side, okay? So let me, I also did the bottom because I thought if it's hanging up high, you want to make sure the bottom, it's looking pretty good. I'd like to move into this little house, but Martin, me and you wouldn't fit in that wee hole.
No, we wouldn't.
No. Maybe you can make a bigger one. The irony is Martin used to make birdhouses, but the thing about it is it was there and it was for charity, and I thought it was a good thing to do, right? So I'm really gonna ink my stamp. This is the secret for your second lot of stamping. Really, really get it saturated, and you can even just put some more ink on the pad if you want. This is just a new pad, so I should have plenty on it, but just make sure you got plenty on it. Plenty. Now, stand up for the key change with this one. That is Jamie, because I just sent her pictures of the elephant, and she's not actually seen it stamped on anything yet, so I think she's going to get quite giddy. Now, I think I'm pretty much right. I don't really want, hang on a minute.
Sorry about the lighting.
We are in a camper.
Yeah.
Oh, I just need something to put under here for a minute. Just this little bit of plastic will do. It's just to stop it knocking up onto that top part. So I'm going to do the top part first. Now you can see here where I've went too vigorous with my stamp, so I'm not going to push down on that. It would give me black lines. That's another thing about stamping. We were talking about stamping recently in my Thursday night live group. Now I'm just really making sure that I've touched it all, because you want all the detail round about the eye. Eyes can sometimes get a bit left behind. Right, okay. And there we have him. Now, what did I do on the other side? I then got my turquoise paint and I paintbrush. John puffed out after that, Maren. And what I did was kind of grounded him off. Make him look like he actually was somewhere as opposed to just floating about. That is Teddy snuffling. Now, after I had did that, I just let that bit dry. We've got the little, let me just check the other side, because sometimes I forget. Remove that, that was the piece that stamp here. Teddy, get down. And I think I can do more stamps, just the edge of them on here. And the same going down. Once you've painted it in, it's quite a quick process. And on here, I just picked in between, just went down them. It was just to add a bit of interest around my elephant. There we go. And a bit more on here. Now let's get to our roof. And that's this triangle, the big part bunting. And I just used that piece of plastic that I showed you how to cut out. You can also make masks with that plastic as well if your heart desires. I'm watching Terry from the other side of the room. He's doing the tablecloth, so don't be surprised if the whole thing gets pulled on the floor in a minute. Here. I started this when it was lovely and sunny. It's pitch black outside now.
Excuse me.
It takes quite a while to do a birdhouse, apparently. And lastly, this one up in here, if I can get it up in here without making a great big mess. I think I kind of smushed that centre one. Alright, okay. Then what I did was I took my green and I just popped a little bit of green in the middle. Just a suggestion. And clean my brush. Got some pink over here in my palette. And just painted in and around these leaves pink. And over the screw. I could have filled the screws, but I don't think the birds will care. I don't think they'll be bothered. I'm certainly going to have the jazziest birdhouse in my new home, my new town. They'll be thinking, oh, here we go. Right, okay, quite happy with that. Now, what I did for this little band along here was I just inked up this one here. Yeah. And, oh no, the wrong way around, sorry. Try that again. And I went for this middle row here. And I did this. This is a lovely stamp, all stamped. Kind of awkward, this part. And one last little angle. Just going to pop him here. And I think this is pretty much the same as the other side now. I don't think I've missed out any parts. So I'm just going to flip it around one more time and show you what you can do with a simple birdhouse and made by Marley Stamps. We'll get this staged up, all looking pretty. Now what I've decided what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to give it 2 coats of tough top coat, and then I'm going to give it 2 coats of outdoor dishwasher safe Mod Podge Could use heavy varnish if I wanted to, but I think I've got these in the camper, so I may as well just use them. Okay, that's that. Another one done. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that whistle-stop tour of how to use the Carnival stamp. I think this is the cutest birdhouse ever. It's going to be a complete novelty. Is the stamp easy to use? Yeah, it's self-explanatory, just go mad. But I do think it's got other things that you could use it for, and especially I'm kind of got my eye on a sort of Moroccan piece with this stamp, minus the elephant, obviously, and the balloons. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Tune in tomorrow, where I'll be taking another one of my charity finds and making something out of it. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a like, give us a share, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you feel like it, give me a bit of a hype. Take care.